Hey everyone, I know it's been a minute, a minute into months. Life has just been very busy for me, both family and work perspective. I don't know if I've ever actually described what I do for a living. I own a kombucha brewery, and things have been really busy heading to the new year. Normally is kind of our slower period, but thankfully it has not been slow, which is great in terms of 40K wise. Obviously not so great, but I'll certainly take a nice steady flow of business there. So life on a whole has been phenomenal, we'll say that. So just good to get back to it. I attended a tournament a couple weeks ago. I played this very few handful of games just to get back into the swing of things, but just took it slow, didn't do any battle reports just to get back into it. But here we are once again recording battle reports for you with Tyranids being settled for Arks of Omen, finally getting some time under with them in this new format. So playing a GT actually in 2 weeks. I played a previous iteration of this list. I just currently involved in trying some experimental stuff here, so it should be an interesting game. I'm going to be taking on the Salamanders, different Salamanders actually than the ones you've normally seen on the channel. Our local gaming group has grown to, I believe, 14 very active players, so huge for our area. It is fantastic to see so many different armies. You're going to see a lot of other factions on here, different players, so really eager to continue growing our local scene. But anyway, that's enough about what's been going on where I've been. So I am running Behemoth, 2,000 points here. Territorial Instincts, this is a take on a list I ran before, and I'll explain the differences once I go over the list. So here we have the Arks Detachment. We've got a Hive Tyrant with direct guidance, heavy venom cannon, a lash whip bone sword. He has the Resonance Barb relic just to get me some extra psychic output, just have some extra options in terms of powers and some extra casting oomph with the +1. I previously ran 2 of these with both relic guns, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like not having a reroll and missing even just one of the shots from Shargil or the other one. It hurt, and yeah, I don't know. We're gonna try this out. So going with a single Tyrant, and he has Neuroparasite, the Whore, and Paroxysm. 3 Tyrant Guard, of course, Rending Claws, and the Talons. We've got a Neurothrope who has Gestation Sac, Synaptic Tendrils. I do have one other Warlord trait here in the list, so all said and done, starting at 1 CP. The Neurothrope has Catalyst Onslaught. 3 Zoes in the elite slot. Not in the elite slot, those 2 aren't. 2 Pyrovores, just for some action work, and hey, may cook something. Malscepter, been having a lot of fun with the Malscepter. It plays pretty well into this list, plus being at TI. Territorial Instinct is handy. It is Neuroparasite, Psychic Scream. Then the heavy support slot, we have a Exocrine. I don't think it had any. I need a quadruple tech. I altered this list the last day. I can't remember. It has Dermic, I believe. Or no, sorry, not Dermic. Oh my goodness, Voracious Ammunition. Yes, I'll quadruple check that as we jump in. 2 units of Raveners. This is kind of what I've been playing around with. With Armor of Contempt gone, these guys are beastly. Their points have gone up, but you know what? I really enjoy them. I'm trying to make them work, do something different here. I know Gorgon Hormagaunts are the sauce. I'm actually painting up some Hormagaunts, redoing some of my old ones, so we'll be experimenting that when the time comes. So 2 units of them running Claws Devourers, Death Spitters. The Parasite with Alien Cunning, just some mobile synapse, give that a go. 2 Molochs. This is where it gets a little experimental. We're going to try them for the objective game. The Moloch in the back, the actual bursting Moloch, has Dermic. This fella here has Synaptic Enhancement, so depending on when I want to pop them up, the Zoes can snap off their imperative, because playing on the GT tournament package, you're about to see our table. It is nice and dense, so lots of places to hide and plan out movement. I really enjoyed it. The last event, I'm not going to do a recap because I didn't have any photos or anything, but phenomenal. So well done. It's being put on by, there's a local tournament group formed of some local players that came together to put on fantastic events, and they set up a program where you can purchase the train as long as you make it available for the events, which we have done here for Basement Wargaming. So we're going to take a look at the Salamanders. They're on their way. I'm just getting things done here. We'll check out their army, then take a look at the table.
All right, this is Salamander Jeff, new Salamander player, and I've brought here, we got some, these are just kind of cursors, they're assault necessors, but cursors. We got a 10-man block of, I think it's 10 there, yep, of assault terminators with Thunderhammer and storm shields. We get a Ajax Agatone. I took his Warlord trait for the Aura of Fire. We have a Librarian with the Tomb of Valkona. And we have the Apothecary here. And I just gave him the Warlord trait for Selfless Healer. And we have Vulkan Histan here. So he's kind of going sideways a little bit. And I didn't give him a Warlord trait, I just wanted him for the buffs. Got a 5-man block of Aggressors. Assault Terminator. Nope, those are Assault Intercessor, sorry. And a 3-man block Eradicators. Some Bolts and Scepters. Stern Guard. 2 Multi-Meltas, 3 Combi Meltas. And we have another block of 3 Eradicators. 2 Dreadnoughts, Redemptive Dreadnoughts. One has the Plasma and the Flame, the other one with the Heavy Cannon and the Underslim Cannon. And we have a Tech Marine in the back with the Forge Master.
So here's the table we're playing on. We're playing Scry-Salvage, the terrain pack, and I believe it's a UK, I'm very bad with all these acronyms, the UKTC tournament pack. So it's a terrain setup from there. This is Scry-Salvage, and this sees a total of 6 objectives, 4 along the middle, the 9-inch bubble from the center for deployment, and then it's been a while, an objective there and there. And then just going along like this with the bubble coming around. Yeah, so very excited to play this out. Terrain-wise, everything's pretty much as you see. The center ones here are all obscuring. These are just true line of sight. They are breachable, of course. All these are breachable. The big ones, obviously, scalable and breachable, all that jazz. And these little things are just dense and... I can't remember the name of all these terrain features, but it just slows your movement down, I believe. I'll quadruple check that. I have the sheet, but I know it is dense once you're touching there. Yeah, so this is a table. Really excited to give it a go. Like I said, Arks of Omen is a big shakeup for Tyranids. Probably try to get some Tyranid Tactica. That's a big promise. Again, just life being so busy, getting battle reports in alone has been challenging. But yeah, it's been certainly a shakeup. Tyranids suck at objective work. It's so bad. It's really depressing. But we're going to make it work here. I know there's a lot of people having success. It's just challenging when all 3 of your book secondaries are garbage. But we're going to work around that. We're going to make this work. My thought going into this list is we should be good at playing the primaries, being Territorial Instinct and having the Molochs pop up, grab me objectives. And like I said, the terrain pack that is used by the tournament group is very open, but at the same time, lots of places to kind of position yourself, and Overrun being useful for the Raveners. The last event I played, I went 2-2-1, tied against a fellow Tyranids player, a good friend of mine. We tied 74-74, wild stuff. He was running the Gorgon Hormigaunt list, but the other list I had, it only had 1 unit of Raveners, and they were easily my MVP in essentially all of my games. People gave them great respect, stayed away from them, having direct guidance, and the buff from the Hive Tyrant just made them absolutely lethal. They would blend whatever they touched, and armor. I didn't really come into armor and contempt. I guess I played Mechanicum and Sisters, but you know. Anyway, so yeah, we're just, once the Salamanders get here, we'll come back, find out who's deploying where. It's even. But we'll talk about secondaries and all that jazz. All right, folks, so we have deployed. I'm over here, just because all my stuff was here. So looking at the Tyranids, of course, the Molochs are in Deep Strike, or Tear from Below, whatever their thing is called. Then we got my deployment side. We'll look from the back here. We've got 3 Tyrant Guard. They are on the bottom floor. It's just easier placing them in with the Parasite there. Just janking them all around, because they're going to probably leave there right away. So they're just up there visually, straight down. Parasites right behind them. And then we have, in the center brick here, we have Exocrime, Neurothrope, Malceptor, 3 Zoes, and the Hive Tyrant in the middle. Brick of Raveners with the Pyrevore hanging out on the edge. And then the exact same thing over on this side. Raveners and Pyrevore. And then opposing me, we have so many Flamers. So we've got Aggressors, characters. I don't know.
Librarian.
Librarian. Yes, there we go. I know the name. Librarian. That's the only dude. I'm not sure. Vulkan.
Atrax.
Atrax. That's who it is. Then the apothecary. There, we got that. With them, the incursors up for it. The incursors there. Then the assault. Okay. I never remember that. It's terrible because no one knows Tyranid stuff, but I don't know anything else. Then we have the Stern Guard. That's Vulkan, yes?
Yep.
There we go. Nailed that one. Eradicators. The other Eradicators are strategic reserving, along with the Terminators teleporting and the other dudes dropping. Then we have the old tech boy here, the Dreads. And I think that's it. No one over on this side, is there? Nope, there it is. So that is deployment done for both of us. We're going to do the ultimate roll-off, find out who's going first. I have 1 CP. Oh, I should mention secondaries, too. I went with Assassinate because there is a lot of characters. No prisoners. I was going to do a Psychic secondary. Yeah, I didn't. And the other one I went with was Banners, just because I have a lot of movement and we're going to give it a go. Psychic one might have been the move, but he deployed all his characters away. So I would have had to expose my Neuroparasite or the Tyrant, so yes, hindsight. And then you went with Promethean Cult, Shock Tactics, and Banners.
Yep.
All right. The ever important initiative roll. Here we go. Whoops, launch that fella.
Ooh.
It's a 1. There we go. A 6, he wants it. I do not. I shouldn't have thrown that dice. That was my good one. All right, so we'll come back after Salamander's turn 1. We're going to find out what objective is Promethean Cult here soon. So that is the end of the turn here. Playing it nice and laid back, letting me get in position for him to pounce. This is the Promethean objective. Banner is thrown up there, and then a scan being done over here as well by the Tech Marine. And then these guys are all just hanging back, waiting for the Tyranids to get together. I would have liked first turn, especially in this style, but it's good. It's going to be a good reactionary practice with the old Molochs, the old fellas coming in. All right, so we're going to come into Tyranids turn 1. I did not do any imperatives, if for those wondering, because I don't think I'm going to do a ton. So I'm going to save it and be a smart guy. Folks, so movement done for the Tyranids. So getting some good advance rolls where I needed them. Everything else at advance rolled a 1. So everything over here getting solid. 6-inch advance, 5-inch advance, I think it was, or something like that. I just need, or 3, but I needed at least a 2. He got a 5, so zipping up. I'll be taking that banner down. The reason it was important, they touch the terrain now. Now they have a bead back to the Stern Guard, so I can get some shooting charge in there. In the back here, everyone else is just hanging out. Not a ton being done. These guys, banner and Parasite scanning that objective. Going to spawn the Rippers out, fully null out any Terminators dropping into the rear, which is what I don't want to happen. Over this way, these lads throwing a banner up on that side. This Pyrevore, he advanced, he got a 1, and he decided not to walk out and die. So that's it. Oh, and the Moloch. A point has been marked here. So they will be coming, or 1 Moloch will be coming in there, the Synaptic one. And then the... Oh, yeah, and we forgot to mention a banner was thrown up for the Salamanders there as well. So 2 banners on the table for both ends. And we'll move into Psychic. So that is the end of the Tyranid turn here. So just went ahead and did shooting and melee all together just because I only had one thing that shot. I mean, there was a bit of Psychic, but we'll wrap it up pretty quick. The Raveners shot through, killed 3 Stern Guard at the back there. They do need to do morale. We'll do that in just one moment. I think they have really rolled on a 6. And then the Raveners came in, killed them off, and went back. They do have Catalyst as well. I did try and do my, I don't know what it's called, the diffusion thing from him for the -1 strength shooting aura, but he denied it quite handedly. But the Raveners pulling back, definitely going to be enacting my invul imperative. Hopefully that'll come in clutch here and save me, but was really key killing that objective off, getting 2 points for data intercept and 1 point on the Salamander's end. So we'll jump into turn 2. So movement done for the Salamanders. So no primaries this turn. Not able to get anything thanks to the Raveners. But over this way, the Stern Guard moving forward along with the Psyker. That's what it is. Yeah, the Psyker. Then the Apothecary moving. Where did he go?
He's right here.
Oh, he's back there. Yeah. There we go. Yep. Did those lads right here, and then the Eradicators in the back, getting position, coming up, scaling the walls. That way they have a nice lane looking down, along with these guys staying back. They are performing the action on the back objective, and then the Dreadnoughts getting a firing lane down the middle here. I do have my Imperative active, of course, the Inceptors coming in there, and then over this way, the Terminator and Eradicators coming from the back on this objective. So that's movement done. Let's come back after Psychic and shooting. So we are all done Salamander's turn. So pretty decent on this front over here. The Eradicators coming in, shooting these guys down just to 2 of them. And you better believe I spent 2 CP of my 3 that I had to keep them in the game. Because there is a banner there, and I want to hold the objective to get hold 1 and hold 2. Excuse me, over this way. The Flamer guys doing some damage, but honestly just not what they wanted against the Malceptor. Still on full bracket, so there's going to be a lot of mortals coming in over here. Then the Inceptors, though, chipping away at the Raveners. There's 1 Ravener down to 1 wound, so obviously would have wanted to kill 1, but chipping away as best they can. The Dreads, unfortunately, they were the only thing that truly whiffed this turn, firing at the Malceptor and missing. And even against the Raveners, doing a single wound there. And banner was thrown up by the lads over there. So 2 banners in play now for the Salamanders, and good table presence as well. We do have a Moloch coming in, so we'll see how the old big lad will shake things up. So let's head into Tyranids, turn 2. Alright folks, so movement's done for the Tyranids. So Moloch coming up, we had control 1, control 2 for primaries, can't remember if I mentioned it. Moloch came up, grabbed that, he's back to the wall. So the Eradicators have come up. We believe 2 can see. Definitely 1 won't be able to because he'll have to walk up and come over. But either way, he's going to get shot in his little head. Over this way, though, these guys are about to get mortal. They are out of range of the Apothecary, so I should have enough mortals between everything here. We are in range of the aggressors with everything, so we should be able to take them out between all the mortals coming through with everyone. And the Hive Tyrant getting in position, touching the terrain there, so he can either shoot at the Dreadnoughts or back at the Eradicators. This guy moved out, hopefully do some chip wounds, get through on them. Then over this way, Exocrine position, so he can either shoot the Eradicators or dump shots down there, depending on what shakes up. And that is the end of movement. Oh, and the Moloch, second Moloch's going to come over here to force him to either stay there on the objective or have the Moloch come up and take it. Or, yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what he's doing. And he's got the 4-up pinball. He sadly will not, so he'll probably get cooked, but we'll see. So let's head into Psychic. So Psychic and shooting done. We're going to say the shooting was pretty meh, but we're going to say the Psychic was pretty wicked. So we got rid of the aggressors completely for Psychic and got some buffs off where we needed. And then killed off 2 of them, leaving 1 with 2 wounds. The Hive Tyrant dropping Adrax down to 3 wounds, so we got that Paroxysm also off on him as well. Over this way, Self-Sacrifice coming through, keeping the Eradicators doing their thing. And I shot at the Terminators with the Exocrine, really mauled it over, but I was like, even if I kill 3 of them, should get it. I missed half my shots, and then get all my wounds, but then he made all his involves, so sad. Over this way, though, we got some charges going to go down. They're going to go in, hopefully finish off Agrax, a dude. Agrax, and then Malceptor likely to charge in there just to finish that off, and gets me an objective as well right there. So we'll roll up some charges, come back after the turn is done. Unfortunately failed with the Raveners, however the Malceptor made the charge in, spent the CP for Horn Chitin, and slammed into Agrax, killing him, getting me the Warlord gone, and ridding this side of the table with some buffs. Raveners were going to go in the Librarian, that would have been huge getting in there. But unfortunately failed that. Still not in a bad spot. The Malceptor I still think is the prime candidate for shooting over on this end of the table at least. So let's jump into Salamanders turn number 3. Also, this is important too because this grabs me another scan point. So I got 3 of them there as well. So let's jump into Salamanders turn number 3. All right, so movement is done for the Salamanders. Over this way, these lads coming over, regrouping and rezzing. Librarian deciding that it is time to back off. The Eradicator's coming up top. Moloch about to face down a Dreadnought over there, staring him in the face. This one's coming forward. Did not care for the mortal wounds last turn. So looking a little bit down that way, either at the Exocrine or the Zoes. Terminator Brett coming forward from my poor 2 little Raveners. as well as the Eradicator stepping onto that objective. So let's jump into Psychic and shooting and come back after that. All right, so shooting is done. The story here is the Moloch lives with 3 wounds. I mean, only 3, but still alive nonetheless. So that is a very important detail. Moloch dropping down 1 wound, so down to 15. Raveners did lose 3 of them though, which hurt a little bit, but yeah, failing that charge was the big thing, because if had we have made that, we would have been able to hide against that wall. So that charge failing was a little unfortunate for them. Over this way, though, these guys obliterated the Tyrant Guard, getting just the perfect amount of wounds to actually take them out. So very handy there. But that's it for shooting. Oh, and the Dreadnought here taking out a Zoanthrope and a half, too, thanks to some no involves being made. So, you know, unfortunate there, but I still get 2 alive, and that's still a lot of morals. So very happy. We got some charges going to go down. We'll come back after that. That's bad. So the Terminators made it in, only killed 1 Ravener, and Ravener struck back, did a couple wounds. So that's not good for the Terminators. But did take my banner down, so a little bit of a win. Now over here, though, the Moloch lives with 3 wounds, which is a huge deal because it's OBSEC and more bodies there. So I still hold that objective, which is a big deal because I will have control more. But that is the end of the turn here. So we're going to turn number 3 for the Tyranids. Very interesting game we got. So, movement's done for the Tyranids. Moloch coming up. No mortals, so sad. But coming up within 12 of the marker, denying this because he's OBSEC from the Terminators. So just shutting down the points here for the Salamanders. Ravener disengaged, just literally going to move block the Dreadnought. So very excited about that. The Pyrovore just coming forward. Just all he had to do is kill 2 of them there, and then he'll charge in and take the objective. I do have some shooting alternatives over here if I want to just dump in and clear at least 1 or 2 of them off, nab that objective. Parasite coming over, throwing a banner on this end, being that I only have 1 other banner up. Malceptor moving over this way. He is closer, so we'll hit him first, get rid of him, and then put the smite over there. The last 2 Raveners going forward, going to eat up another character, complete their work there, just racking up some points on that end. And that's the end of movement. Let's come back after Psychic. Folks, so shooting is done over this way, dropping them down to 1 wound on that lad, thanks to the Apothecary actually keeping him in there. We got the charge going with the Raveners going in there. I have 1 CP. He's also going to come in this way as well. Dropping the Terminators down to only 4 of them. So going off very well between all the Psychic here. Loads of super smites. I actually was rolled very above average on that. And also killing the Inceptor over here with the Malceptor as well. Then over here, Paroxysm them, and the Hive Tyrant went ballistic and killed all 3 of them with his shots, even with Transhuman. So I don't get to take the objective. The Pyrovore did nothing, for those wondering. And that's it. We're going to come back after the fighting. So, all right. So that's the end of the Tyranids' turn. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, morale's failed across the board here for the Salamanders. So I made a charge with the Malceptor, slammed into the Apothecary, dropped him down some wounds, then finished him off melee, and then the dude there ran away. They finished off the Librarian quite heftily. And then over this way, the Terminators failing morale, and then rolling, I think, 3 2s, was it, or something? Losing, so many guys there. So that's not good. So that's the end of Tyranid's turn. Let's jump into Salamander's turn number 4. All right, folks, so that's the end of the turn. We wrapped shooting and all that together just because it's pretty quick. Shooting-wise, these lads up here fired down, killed off the Raveners. They split-fired a couple shots into the Malceptor. It lived. These lads charged in, though. Finished it off quite handily, getting, I think it was like 8 6s on the wound with only 2 wounds left. Odds are not in my favor. Over this way, this Dread went ballistic in melee and got a ton. Actually, only 3 wounds coming through, but when you fail all 3 of those 4-up balls, it hurts, especially then when he rolls high damage. So it's gone, and I think that's it. So yeah, points-wise, the Tyranids dominating the primary game, but Salamanders in that last turn, the clapback was pretty real. The dead pile is actually probably pretty even now on points. But let's jump into Tyranids turn 4 and see what it looks like. So we're going to call the game there into, we just talked about round 5. Pretty much all that happened for the Tyranids. With round 4, the Ravener there just came through, tried to kill the Terminator. Nothing happened there. with the Parasite denying points there. There's no primary scored again for the Salamanders. The one roll we did is see if they could make the advance roll. They needed a 5 to throw down my banner and take the Promethean one, which failed. We just assumed between all of that, the Parasite would have got obliterated, so it gets shock tactics. And then I did lose a banner there as well from the Dreadnought. He did. He's dead. And then into my turn, it would have mattered because I wouldn't have actually been able to see or shoot anything to get more points for no prisoners, because this Dreadnought would have been in the way, protecting them. Nothing getting shot over there, and same for that Dreadnought. So end score is 87 to 28. The story here was primaries being shut down. The Promethean cult there was not a lot of points scored for the Salamanders. So I think if you took over on that objective for that one, it would have been a lot better. But with the aggressors here, and then me rolling above average, especially just on the psychic portion of the game, and you not making any 4-up involves didn't help. Terminators. Who would your MVP be?
Me?
Yeah.
Gosh.
No, mine.
Well, this guy, he did a lot at the end. He did a lot of work. He came up the table and
saved a lot of points.
Got a couple shock tactics, but that's about it.
Yeah. For me, it was probably the Malscepter. That dude went off. Yeah, it's two super smites, both for I think 5 wounds each one. So pretty handy there, definitely for him. The one unit I felt that didn't do anything would be the Exocrine. I just feel like potentially points could have been spent better on another more aggressive unit. The Raveners did their work. The Molochs as well. What do you think of them? I was very unsure.
Yeah, they're great. They came up. The guy had to move off the objectives twice. Like over here and move, over here and move.
Yeah, and denying my whole goal of this list was to deny you primaries with me sucking at secondaries. And yeah, that was, I did pretty decent on it, but it was a lot to do with the Parasite being kind of sneaky too and having the Rippers. But all said and done, it was a good match, and always love seeing the Salamanders on the channel, especially different Salamanders, as we have like 80% of our views with the other ones, and I love playing them, but it's great to see some new faces here as well. So thank you everyone for watching. We will definitely be back doing more. Like I said, our local club has 14-ish active players, I think it is. 14. So definitely tons more games, new faces, and loads of different armies.